You're sitting across from someone you've known your whole life, and the thought arrives like a whisper. You can't remember the last time you actually looked at their face. Not glanced at from across a room. Not caught in the edge of a photograph. Really looked. We think the people closest to us are the ones we know best, but they're often the ones we see least clearly, because at some point, we stop looking. And we don't even notice we've stopped. It happens slowly, the way most sad things do. You stop looking carefully because you think you already know what's there. You talk to the person you remember instead of the person sitting in front of you. It feels natural, even generous. You're not hovering. You're giving them the ease of familiarity. But what you're really doing is something lonelier. You're letting someone become invisible, not because you don't love them, but because you've decided you already know everything their face could tell you. A woman named Clara sat at her mother's kitchen table in Ohio on a Sunday afternoon. Same table, same chair, same 2 cups of coffee in the same spots. This had been their routine for over a decade. Clara would come by after church, her mother would make coffee, and they would sit. Clara would talk about her week, and her mother would listen, nodding slowly, holding her cup with both hands. It was comfortable. It was easy. It was also, Clara would later realize, the same conversation they'd been having for years. Clara had stopped asking new questions, and her mother had stopped offering new answers. On this particular Sunday, Clara was telling her mother about a project at work, and she glanced down at her phone to check a detail. When she looked up again, something small caught her. Her mother was wearing 2 different earrings, a small gold stud on the left, a tiny silver heart on the right. Clara almost laughed. She almost said, "Mom, your earrings don't match." But something made her keep looking instead. Her mother's hands around the coffee cup, they weren't the hands Clara carried in her mind. The ones she pictured were smooth and strong. The hands that had carried grocery bags up the front steps 2 at a time. The hands from 10 years ago, from 20. But these hands were thinner now. The veins had risen to the surface, and they trembled just slightly as her mother raised the cup to her mouth. Clara looked at her mother's face and found things she'd been walking right past. New lines, a softness beneath the cheekbones, skin that had grown delicate. Her mother had lost weight. Her mother had aged. Her mother had changed, and Clara had been sitting across from her for years, talking to someone who no longer existed. Her mother caught the stare and said, "What?" Clara opened her mouth and closed it. Because what she almost said was, "I'm sorry. I stopped seeing you." What Clara understood in that one unguarded moment was something she'd been avoiding for years. Her mother had been changing quietly, hopefully, right there at the kitchen table, and she had been wanting someone to notice. Not to be fussed over. Not to be treated like she was fragile. Just to be seen. For decades, this woman had watched every scraped knee, every good grade, every small shift in her daughter's mood. And now she was sitting across from someone who no longer looked at her hands. If you sit next to the same friend every day, or live with someone who's always been there, try something tomorrow. Look at them like you're drawing them from scratch. Notice the way they hold their shoulders when they're happy. Notice how they laugh when they forget to be careful about it. You might find something that's been right in front of you, a worry they've been carrying, a change they hoped someone would see. One honest look can tell a person more than 100 words. It doesn't matter if you're 9 or 49. The people nearest to us can become the most invisible, not because we stop caring, but because we stop paying attention. We assume love is a permanent kind of connection, but love without attention is just a promise we forgot we made. The simple act of looking, truly looking, is one of the quietest, most generous things you can give someone. And it costs nothing but the willingness to set down what you think you already know. Those hands Clara almost missed. They braided her hair on school mornings. They steadied her on a bicycle in the driveway. They held her face when she was small and told her she was going to be just fine. They were still there. Still reaching. The people you love are not who you remember them to be. They are who they are right now, and they are waiting to be seen.